Aero and Marine Tax Professionals present Plain Dollars and Cents, a seminar held at the Jet Center in Medford, Oregon on September 22, 2011, and featuring Tom Alston, President of Aero and Marine Tax Professionals, the preeminent experts on avoiding taxes on the purchase of an aircraft.
My company's expertise is filing sales and use tax returns for aircraft that are subject to California sales and use taxes. Done a little over 1,000 of those cases and have never failed one of them. That's our success ratio of what we do. Just because you think you're not subject to California sales and use taxes, you're wrong. Okay, and that's what I need people to know. I had this idea that I realized that so many people think that they're not subject to taxes in California if they register their airplane someplace else or if they actually live someplace else. What you need to key on is any aircraft is subject to California use tax if any of the following apply. The operative word is or. So it's easy to see the last one. If you register your aircraft inside California, the Board of Equalization uses the FAA registration list as their marketing list, and they're going to contact you, and they're going to require that you file a combined state and local consumer use tax return on the purchase of your aircraft. They're going to require that you either pay the tax or support a claim for an exemption. And that process of supporting a claim for an exemption is the service that my company provides to its clients. But what you probably don't know is that the other two pieces can get you in equal amounts of trouble. If within 12 months after you take possession of your new to you aircraft, you fly your airplane into California once, according to California law, the state of California has the right to assess you tax. Just let that sink in a second. They have the right to do that, which means you either pay the tax or file a claim for an exemption, which means you have to file the tax return. Or if your airplane is stored in any manner inside the state of California anytime within the first 12 months after you take possession. What's going on right now in the state of California is worse than anything that you could possibly imagine.
The state of California seems to be trying to find tax revenue any place it can. They may start looking at registrations in bordering states.
Washington, Oregon, Nevada, and Arizona. And what they're also going to add to that is any of the so-called tax haven states, which would be Delaware and Montana, and possibly Alaska. And they're going to take a look at those registrations. And they're going to take a look and see if there's some way they can come and get you too. If the aircraft was purchased by a California resident as defined in Section 516 of the California Vehicle Code, see that little word after at the end of that? It says Oregon, doesn't it? Aircraft was subject to property tax in California during the first 12 months of ownership. Now what I want to do is take you through what they're using as a definition of a California resident, because I'm also going to show you why you could possibly be a resident of California and not know it. Location of employment or place of business. Look at C. So you send a kid to a public institution of higher education.
Let's say you're one of the more fortunate ones and your child can afford to go to Cal and you're paying for it. You're a resident of California.
Or if your kids go to a primary or secondary school. So you got a divorce and your wife moves to California, your kids are going to school there, you're a resident of California. Other acts, occurrences, or events that indicate presence in the state is more than temporary transit, which means if I want your money, you're a California resident. So you just need to be really careful about what you do relative to your airplanes and flying it in and out of California. I'm not telling you not to do that. I'm just telling you that when you sit down in the beginning and you begin to think about buying airplanes, okay, call me and talk to me, all right? And I'll get involved in your process and your thought process and tell you what I think you should do. I don't charge you for those kind of phone calls. Okay, I am not trying to scare you out of owning an airplane. I am trying to tell you that now when you think about owning an airplane, with what's going on in Washington and what's going on in every other state, you need to really step back and have a conversation with attorneys and sales tax people and property tax people about how to do it correctly, because there are ways to legally avoid all of these taxes. This is what they said. You have a right as well as an obligation to avoid taxes.
If you like help avoiding paying taxes on the purchase of an aircraft, have questions about aircraft taxes, or would like Tom Alston to speak about aircraft taxes at your event, call Tom at Aero and Marine Tax Professionals at 916-691-9192, extension 108, or visit their website at www.aeromarinetaxpros.com.